But that's not an option for this grant we've been awarded.
Any other questions? Other questions?
Since we're on the discussion phase, then I might suggest that this be an item on the next agenda. Again, try to decide what we want to do.
Well,
So we have to do something here.
well, I'd just like to maybe try to get a rough estimate of the cost that would be entailed in the culvert and the walkway.
Is he requiring that the school system be responsible for everything from Heritage Park to Lions Club Field,
Yes.
essentially? The pathway along the road? Okay.
Yes. And the trail from the school to the bridge.
On the school property, okay.
Although I thought we might already know.
So both sides of the bridge, we'd have to make a commitment for it to be an ADA walkway. But you can do that with crushing one, run gravel. It has to be a smooth surface. It doesn't have to be blacktop or concrete.
And the rest of that path is all right. On the other side of that river, there's a path presently there, is that correct?
There's gravel, piles of gravel there. There's not a path.
The path hasn't been made yet. The gravel was donated, but it's just sitting there.
Do you think it's possible, Dana, that we could get someone that might be able to give us a rough estimate or talk to us about it to come to the next meeting? Not actually make it a decision at that time, but maybe try to get some more information. I know
Yes.
we're cutting it close.
Yes, I can try to get either the Department of Highways or a private contractor to take a look at the site and give us an estimate on the walk on the other side of the road, and I can pretty much estimate what it's going to take to do the other side.
About the rest of your board members, do you think that might be a good thing to do, or do you think we need to go ahead with it and try to make a decision on our own? Or?
Well, the next meeting would be after April 20th. Would that be the next meeting? In 2 weeks, about 2 weeks, you think, you got this information, so that was around the 1st of March, so that's March and
We've
April.
got March 29th.
We have a meeting in 29.
Okay.
We could include that, or the discussion, let someone make a presentation on 29.
And then the next
Then
meeting
that
is,
would give us until the next meeting
Which is
to
the
try to make
20th.
a decision on it.
which would be 50 days approximately, from the 1st of March to April 20th.
What I would like, if possible, Dan, if you could just clarify with the DOH, I think what I'm hearing, if on the 29th, if we could maybe get an estimate of the cost and then approve something, if that's the way we wanted to go on the 20th of April, if that would be acceptable to them.
Yes.
Just as long as we can hang under the time.
Well, that's why I just, if they clarify with them if that's, be agreeable with them.
Right.
If not, we can discuss it on the 29th further, maybe, or after whatever.
Anything further? If not, we're about to close this meeting.
Well, I do have one comment.
Okay.
You're not going to do this. I would just like to, tonight we approved $18,760 for legal fees. And based upon what Bertie had given us at her presentation earlier, at the end of December, we had incurred $71,000 in legal fees this year. We paid $10,000 and plus in January. So about my calculations, and there could be wrong, but it looks to me like we spent over $100,000 on legal fees this year. And, and I'm not talking about what the purpose of it is. I'm just saying that's a lot of money to be spent on legal fees regardless of the purpose. And I just think would like to, it reinforces to me as a board member that we need to have a policy or procedure on the use of legal representation by the board. That's just a lot of money. And then I looked from Bertie's, when I, once again, referring back to your end of December presentation, Bertie, it seemed to be quite a bit greater than it had been in past years. And I know things can fluctuate, but, you know, $100,000, and we're not even through the year yet. It's a lot of money, so I just think it, to me, reinforces the need for some kind of procedure and policy on the use of legal representation.
Well, I agree, and perhaps we might,
If I'm not mistaken, we have discussed that already, that we would get together and talk about this and make some type of policy regarding that. But if I'm also not mistaken, and Mr. Roach will tell you this himself, he hardly made a move without consulting with our legal counsel. I think, you know, he did consult with them a lot, but it kept us out of a lot of trouble. So I feel safe knowing that we did it legally and knowing that we did it right. And usually, we're not asked when the superintendent wants to talk to legal counsel. It's just always been that they did if they felt the need to do so. But anything that the rest of the board members want to do, if you want to try to do some type of policy, but I think it's going to put a lot on the back of the superintendent to have to wait and confer with the rest of the board members before he makes a call for legal counsel. I think that we should trust him enough to know that he's not going to do that unless he sees that it's necessary.
I've been here 3 weeks, and I've never, of course, I was superintendent working for a local board for 9 years. And this is a different situation working under state control. And I have found myself having to get approval for many things from the State Board of Education that I, in the past, picked up the phone and called 3 board members if they were in agreement, and then we would vote on it. So you can't get the attorneys for the State Department because they are busy. And if the superintendent has a question, then you have to refer to an attorney because it's going to go through the State Department's legal department. So that does put us in a little bit of a bind until, of course, you no longer have to worry about that. But if it's something that in my past experience that I've dealt with and I feel comfortable with, I would go ahead and do it and then assume that the state would support my decision. But if it's something that it's new to me in Lincoln County, then I'm going to have a difficult time trying to make a decision on my own.